the state that they are in right now. We're continuing our conversation. But you know what? We appreciate the concern and the interest you have shown and are showing as we have embarked on this campaign to get these hospitals completed. Today, we want to talk to you about, something that was captured in the census. And, it has to do with proximity from your home to a health facility. We'll be breaking it down for you. And then you get to understand and appreciate the situation we find ourselves in. The more reason why more of you people should join this campaign to get these uncompleted hospitals completed. Today also, we want you to send us messages to our leaders. And for this morning, it could be a message for the regional minister. It could be a message for the members of parliament whose constituencies these hospitals can be found. It could be a message for the health minister or by extension to the president. We are doing this because, listen, we have decided to put together a documentary. You know, when babies were dying at the MBU at Kofanochi, we put together a documentary. Seth Kwame Watson did that work. And it got a lot of people talking, and then, we built a new one whilst the old one was being looked at. Now I'm told that some works have begun on that one as well. So we want you to send us messages that will make them see how serious and how worried and how concerned we are in getting these abandoned projects completed. Now, these messages would be used, some of them, not all, we'll be picking and use some in our documentary, just to drum home the message. We'll be using some in our news bulletins. We're going to do everything we have to do in our power to ensure that these abandoned hospitals get completed. So what is your message? And, like I said, for those of you who will be sending us messages via the WhatsApp number by way of voice notes, let it be within a minute. Don't let it go beyond a minute. If it goes beyond a minute, we cannot play it. Let it be within a minute. What is your message? And who is your message for? Is it for the regional minister? Is it for the various members of parliament whose constituencies these abandoned projects can be found? Or is for the health minister? Or maybe it's for the president? Let's speak to them. Send us your messages to 055 1111995. That is the number you can send your voice notes to. Your message is very much needed, is very much required, is very much welcome. 055 1111995. Later, we'll be activating the phone lines as well to hear from you on the phone lines by way of your messages. Would also, I think we're already live on Facebook. Drop your comments there. Drop your messages on our Facebook live stream as well. Eugene Osetutu, as usual, joins me in the studios of Love 99.5. So, could you baby? We should done in Sanapa. Eugene, good morning to you.
David, it's not really a good morning for me. I'm just coming from Inshawa yesterday at Asa for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Was just killed by a trailer.
I mean, if you listen to the narrative, the back tie of this trailer ran over the child's head.
Yes.
And I know that area quite well. That graphic road quite well. It is not a big street.
David,
and so I don't see why a long vehicle would even ply it.
The issue is that people have rented stores there. So they blocked the road for 8 hours to offload flour.
Yeah.
The people have been complaining for years, and a 6-year-old, David. And you should see the parents, the emotions. It's not a very good morning for
me. Most
definitely. But
most
David,
definitely.
we have to work, so let's continue. During the census of 2020, which happened in 2021, there were a lot of parameters that the Ghana Statistical Service set out to determine. One of them was to assess the proximity when it comes to the regional distribution and also district health facilities across the country. Now, Joe, if you project the picture with me, you notice that, I don't know, but Ashanti region, it seems, I always say this, I don't know, it's like almost every statistic that is bad has some correlation in the Ashanti region.
So you're talking about accidents, we are leading.
Yes. Teenage pregnancy,
we are leading.
MEDA.
Yes, HIV/AIDS.
We are leading. I don't get it. When you go to this graph, it's showing you the intra-regional disparity in proximity to your facilities. Now, when you check, ordinarily, when we talk about, poor regions, we normally talk about the upper regions. But when it comes to health, look at the Ashanti region. These are proximities. And when you check our national development plan, it's supposed to mean that when you are in a vicinity, the proximity to your facilities should be at least 5 kilometers. To school, it's 1 kilometer. Now, for the 5 kilometers, look at the Ashanti region. We are recording in excess of 55 kilometers. The region with the good ratio is Central region. They are recording about 5.1 kilometers to health facilities. When you go to Greater Accra, The Greater Accra region is also recording about 13 kilometers proximity. Upper East, about 12 kilometers. When you go to Volta region, about 19 kilometers. When you go to the Eastern region, about 17 kilometers. When you go to the Western North region, about 9 kilometers. When you go to the Western region, about 10 kilometers proximity to your facilities. Baby, I was in any hospital, quite at the same. Basically, that's what it means. Ashanti region is recording 55 kilometers. And when you break the data down, you'll notice that the district with the poorest access to your facility is the sexual farmlands. And interestingly, that is where Kumewu is. So you see, it means that when the Kumewu 120 bed comes upstream, it will reduce these numbers. So when we talk about healthcare, it's not just about the data, it's also coming home. Ashanti region, the entire Ghana, when the graph is there for everybody to see, the region of the poorest proximity ratio when it comes to healthcare is Ashanti region, about 55 kilometers. What 55 kilometers means, David, I don't drive, but I know that from Konongo to even Kejetia, it's around that same kilometer range, about 50 of it. So imagine when there's an emergency, and also the nature of roads in most of these areas. Now, David, let's come to my own population ratio when it comes to the major facilities. This week we've shown people the major facilities in this country. When Joel goes back, you notice that we have 1,628 beds. There were also the issue that came in Menchia Government Hospital, which serves a lot of population. My data was showing that it's 100 capacity bed. When you add Menchia to what we have, the 1,628 bed from Suntreso 130 bed, Tafu 56 bed, KNUST 100 bed, Konfanoche 1,200 bed, Atunso Gogo 142 bed. You come to 1,728 bed. What that means is that Ashanti region population, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, is 5,432,485. So you divide the population by the total number of beds. When it comes to major facilities, that's a key word. We can say major or major facilities. That's what we are determining. You come to one bed to 3,144 persons. One bed to 3,144 persons. Now, when you add the stored, some will say unused, abandoned, uncompleted facilities, which sum to 1,970 beds. Because we told you that KNUST is 800 bed. We told you that Afari is 500 bed. We told you Suntreso is 250 bed. We told you Konongo is 120 bed. Kumewu is Konongo is 60 bed. Kumewu 120. Fomena 120. When you add that, it's 1,970. Now, when you add the 1,970 to the major ones I've already listed, which is 1,728, you come to 3,698 beds. Now, divide the same ratio with the population of Ashanti region, which is 5.4 million. You reduce the number from one bed to 3,144 persons to one bed to 1,469. David, you see the magic here. So it tells you clearly that these facilities are critical. And David, you see, what this means is that people can seek health care more, lives will be saved, there will be a healthy human population, because I've told you that the resource for the future is not oil or gold. The resource for the future is the human resource. And there will be productivity. If the population is healthy, there will be increased productivity, the economy will thrive and all that. So we should see health as wealth and put in the measure to complete these facilities. So David, I'll end it here so that I continue with the
And I like the way you end it, because there's a statement that if you have health, you have wealth.
Yes.
And yet people who live in this region are seeking for quality healthcare delivery. It is possible for us to get it, but unfortunately leadership have decided not to provide and make available quality healthcare delivery for people of this region. And don't forget that some of our facilities are referral centers, like we've been talking about. Even Sewa, upon completion, is supposed to be a referral center. As we speak, Konfanoche is overstretched, and it is a referral center, serving over 12 regions, and is also serving people from neighboring countries. So we want you this morning to send us messages. We have various means by which you can send these messages to us. We'll be activating the phone lines in a bit on 03-220-83596. We're not asking you to insult. We're not asking you to despise anybody. We're just asking you to send us messages. Message that you think is going to push our leaders to do the needful by completing these abandoned hospitals. That's what we're asking of you. You can also send us your message via our voice note number. That's, of course, our WhatsApp number, 055-1111-995. 055-1111-995. 11995. That is our WhatsApp line, and that's the number you can send your WhatsApp, your voice notes to. Like we're saying, keep it within a minute. Don't let it go beyond a minute. And there's so many people who, when it comes to this conversation, should help to get this fixed. 1, we can mention the regional minister. 2, we can mention the various MPs whose constituencies these projects are. 3, we can mention the health minister. And 4, by extension, let's say to the president. So what message do you have for these leaders? That will make them complete these abandoned projects for us. Erastus Akuetteh Saridonko is with me in the studios of Love 99.5. Erastus, good morning.
Good morning, David.
And you're better, I guess.
Yeah. By His grace.
Yes, good to have you. Good to have you well. And that it didn't get worse, because I don't know. I wouldn't want to hear that there's no space for a bed that would have given you the care you required. So I'm glad. No, I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I have seen things. I said some years ago, I went to A1 Theatre, where women who were in labor were on all fours, their hands and their knees, and they were in pain, and they were crying and screaming and saying all manner of things. Unfortunately, even nurses who were on duty were screaming at them. And it was because the theaters were full.
I don't want to share my personal experience, which is just about 2 weeks ago, because then Kwame Frimpong, who is a PRO, came to my aid. Even with that, we had to spend some hours sitting on a bench and at the triage area, because yes, there was no bed. And you see, it's not about a bed comes with a lot of facilities, David. I always try to explain. A bed comes with a lot of things. So you have places where you'll be able to jack up your head a bit if they want to treat you, do this, do that, do that. So it's a special kind of bed. It occupies space. If you do not have space, you cannot put a bed there. And so they will tell you that, yes, we have some spaces available, but we have some beds available, but there are no spaces to put them. When you go to the yellow area, the yellow area, you realize that it gets full to the point that they have to bring in beds at the waiting area. So the place gets so full to the extent that the stench emanating from that area alone is something else.
No, COVID hasn't gone. He hasn't left us,
David. The
place is already crowded.
The stench coming from that area alone is something else. And these are doctors who are also human beings, and psychologically they get affected. They must have space. They must have the needed air to breathe, to be able to think like a human being on their feet with the kind of job they do. So somebody is dying. You need that mental fortitude to be able to attend to the person. And you're not getting it because the place is so crowded. People are sleeping everywhere. And you have to breathe in, what I'm talking about. To be able to stand on your feet and work is a problem.
They even go to some theaters. They don't even have the right tables to operate patients
I'll come to the tables, David.
And I have seen it with my eyes.
And that's why I have my problem with certain decisions the management took recently. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But you see, please, let's be truthful to ourselves. Sometimes I don't understand why we do this to ourselves. The leaders, when they come here, they know all these things we are talking about. They know. You go to Kumasi South Hospital. I don't call it a hospital. Look at where it is. The choked, congested area.
And there's construction going on. So the dust the dust that people are inhaling whilst they are seeking medical attention.
When you get in there, you realize what I'm talking about. The maternity ward. Sometimes patients, mothers sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
In the corridor.
Yeah.
They sleep in the corridor. When you go there, you see a stacked mattresses over there. It's not like and I will be behind one city. So these mattresses could be used. There are beds there, but there's no place to put them. Meanwhile,
Sewa is very close by.
Sewa is just a drive from Kumasi South, and it's supposed to serve as the regional hospital.
Yeah.
Forget about who built it and who. That's the crazy part of it. That's why I don't get to think. Forget about who and the colors involved in the government that built it.
So send us your voice notes, messages. We want you to send messages to the leaders who matter in the situation. Send them messages. Tell them something. We're not asking you to insult anybody, no. We're not asking you to disrespect anybody, no. We're not asking you to despise anybody, no. But we want you to speak to their conscience. Speak to them. Send a message to them that will make them do the right thing, the needful. Complete this project for us.
Mine is to
055 11 11 995. That is if you want to send us voice notes via WhatsApp. 055 11 11 995. And if you are watching us on Facebook, we still have some pictures, some videos, visuals we are sharing with you for you to appreciate what we're talking about. We leave some of these things and then they rot away. Taxpayers' money. Now, I said qua. Listen, join us on Facebook, and Leo is going to be reading your messages for us shortly. What message you have for leadership? And I'm talking about the regional minister. I'm talking about the various members of parliament whose constituencies these projects are. I'm talking about the health minister, who on numerous occasions have promised us upon completion of these projects. And so I'm going to say, the president.
The regional minister comes from that area.
The president.
The Bosumchi area. Osei Duchum comes from that area.
Yeah, the education minister.
Yeah,
even the chairman went to me, that same area.
So why would you deny indigents of your own hometown?
And listen, like I said, we're putting
an
together
opportunity to benefit from a beautiful health facility that has everything to take care of them.
We are putting together a documentary.
Or, let me be. Why would you deny them? And ostensibly, on the face that you did not build that hospital.
You did not start.
So I did not start this. So let me allow it to rot. I'm going to build my own new so I can come in and commission it.
And maybe win some political points with this.
It's super crazy.
Which will not even be completed.
It's super crazy. I've never had the sense or the common sense of it anywhere in this world.
New Love Asamoah is also with us. And this campaign, we're going to keep the fire burning till we get the results we're looking for. New Love, I don't want us to personalize this. But 2 weeks ago, we had the energy minister on Asempa. You know, we've been experiencing some outages.
Yes.
Gridco and ECG told us.
Still in force.
Yes, ECG and Gridco told us that it has to do with this Bugoso transmission lines that some mass fell on it.
Told many different things.
When the energy minister was on Asempa radio, he added the gas, that there was some gas shortage. And he was wondering why they took it to Kumasi, because if it was in Accra, they would have looked into it. So if these projects were in Accra, they would have been completed. Because people in Accra would have complained.
David, is because we pamper our leaders in Ashanti region. You hear some radio stations, the working minister, and ask, what is the minister doing? I don't know. You can see what the Greater Accra regional minister is doing. Can we say the regional minister in Ashanti region is doing the same thing? I look around and I see things, I ask myself, do we really have a regional minister? We pamper our leaders so much that we always praise them when they are even doing absolutely nothing.
And even after you're speaking, they will start insulting you.
I know. For me, I'm used to that. Erastus, even the people who we are supposed to fight together to get what we are looking for, people will come and insult you. Some of us are used to that, so we don't care. We've taken upon ourselves that, listen, like David is doing, you guys are doing excellent job. I always praise Eugene. Look at the time he took going around to collect all these videos, data to back everything, to make sure that you get the real picture.
You appreciate
the real picture, to see how dire the situation is. And hospitals are at 96% completed, and they are left to rot. And when you talk, there's, we have not abandoned them, and then they'll come and give you long talk, but nothing happens, and people are dying. We need beds to hospitalize people, and you see all this hospital. Look at some of the facilities. We've spent millions of dollars, taxpayers' money, loan with interest and all that, and they are rotting away. They are getting wasted. And then when you talk, people will come and attack you. This is some of the reasons why Ashanti region is being taken for granted. So when Napo said we are being taken for granted, it is true.
It's true.
Right from our leaders, the leaders within the region are taking us for granted. So the national leaders are also taking us for granted. If the president has appointed a regional minister, that see to that things happen. You have MCs, see to that things are happening. And the regional minister is not doing anything. Regional minister has Sewia in your district, that you know that this place is a referral center. It has a lot of beds that can help people. And you are there doing absolutely nothing. Push. Let us know that you are pushing. Let all the MPs in the region, this hospital are all in constituency of various MPs, come together, push. And I think it's about time we, the voters, also come together like you guys are doing now, enlighten us.
And that is the problem.
We can come together to demand.
You know, one funny thing, interesting thing.
Responsible for
I spoke to one of the MPs yesterday, and my programs manager was with me when I called one of the MPs. And I asked him whether he campaigned on this during the 2020 elections. Did you campaign and make promise to your people that it will be completed? Say yes. And I'm like, so if you campaigned on it, did you campaign on it in 2016? He said he doesn't recall, but 2020 he does. And he says he promised that before his term is over, the place would have been completed. And I'm saying,
for how long should a place be there? For how long? So you see, I think.
See, when
you vote, I keep saying that, David, when you vote for your lot to be bettered. You vote so that the development that you need will be brought to you. When you have voted, you have done your part. If the development is not coming, ask for it, demand it. That is why some people will go on demonstration when they were. If this were elsewhere, people would have gone on demonstration demanding the completion of these hospitals. We were here when the Adenta Medina, people were being killed by cars, and they had to demonstrate, and footbridge was built for them.
Unfortunately,
it doesn't matter.
Yes,
they have demanded what they needed. Look at how people are dying. A young girl, 7 months, dying because there's no bed. When there are thousands of beds wasting away somewhere.
There's no space. Let's put it that way. There's no space for a bed to be placed for attention to be given.
You see, the interesting bit of it is that the people have been made to believe that this is an MPP project, this is an NDC project. And that has sunk in so much with them to the extent that nobody is demanding if, after all, if it gets completed, fine. If it doesn't get completed, after all, NDC for
But you see, Erasmus, what you have to know is that when the project is completed, it doesn't matter who built. We all use. Who started the central market, the Kumasi KGTR market? Who are the beneficiaries?
Kumasi people.
Exactly the point. If these hospitals are completed, NDC will not carry it to anywhere.
No, but if you are sick,
and
if you are
NDC
sick,
didn't build from NDC's pocket.
No, if you are sick, will you go to a particular facility and say, because NDC built it, I'm coming here?
Exactly.
But because MPP built it, I'm going to make a pie.
But David, don't you know that there are NDC doctors and MPP doctors? When you go to the Confanachi Teaching Hospital, do you ask?
No, don't ask. I want to be catered for. And then again, once these projects keep remaining the situation they are in, the state they are in, when we want to go back to continue the work, we have to pay more.
Exactly.
And yesterday, that's what I was told by the Deputy Defense Minister. We're supposed to pay more. And the contractor says, well, 17 million. Before it was, they negotiated to
we did a similar thing with the old maternity ward.
Yes.
We allowed it to stay in the rain and sun for a long time until the end. We said, structurally, it's not even a full cent. We have to pull it down.
All the money that have been sunk in. All the money have been sunk in.
Listen, let's activate the phone lines now.
We are going to pay more taxes to
03220-83596.
So let's demand accountability.
Let's demand accountability like Nula said. What we're expecting of you this morning is simple. A message. What message do you have for the leaders who matter in this conversation? It could be the regional minister. It could be the various MPs for these various constituencies where these projects are scattered and dotted across. It could be the health minister. It could be the president. But we're saying no insults. That's what we're asking of you. But just speak to their heart and their mind, so that message you're sending or you're going to put across is going to make them come and complete these projects. Like I've said, we have plans to put together a documentary. Your message will be carried in that documentary. Our bulletins will carry your message. And so keep it simple. Less than a minute. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David.
And
how are you?
I'm well. Chris, I beg of you, for want of time, we want to speak to as many people as possible. No greetings this morning. Your message within a minute.
David, I think that in this country we celebrate mediocrity. We celebrate inability and incompetence. I remember a coach lost a match here in Ashanti region. Then he was carried in a sky, celebrated, and they praised. How will you do that somewhere? And I believe that what we are saying, we are not asking for too much. The Ashanti region has been denied of certain development for a long time. So the MPs here, please, we beg you, help the people. We are not saying put money into their pocket, but these projects that affect their life, like a hospital, a health facility, I believe that if a poor person gets, a good health care, I think that alone will be enough for him or her. And to the regional minister, please talk to the president. Please talk to him. Let him know the importance for this project to be completed.
Thank you very much, Christoph, for joining us. We're asking you to send messages to leaders who matter in this conversation. No insults, but just speak to them. A message that you think is going to make them continue and complete these projects. Bansa, good morning. But 03220-83596 is the number. Bansa, welcome. Good morning. Well, we lost Bansa there. Sorry about that. Who else we have on the line? Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Caesar.
All right, so Stephen Wanda, straight to the point. What is your message?
My message is that the best solution that I have for Ghanaians and Ghanaians.
Stephen, I said we want you to give a message to leaders to complete this project. So what is the message, please?
It's the best message and it is the best solution. We all know when we give this leadership 1 million years, still what they are going to do is what they are going to do, because wealth never know.
Well, this is not a message, is it? So let's move on. Stephen, thanks for joining us. Kofi Ajay, good morning and welcome, sir. Hello, Kofi Ajay.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes,
David.
good morning, Kofi.
Yes, my issue has to do with the insurance package for frontline health staff who were infected with the COVID.
All right, so that is also aside what we're talking about. Maybe it's something we can look at another time, Kofi. Today, what we're asking of is a message to leaders to ensure that these abandoned hospitals are completed. We want you to speak to them, give them a message. If you have a message, Kofi, we'll take the message, please.
Sometimes I get baffled by the way our leaders behave. And when they get sick, they are easily being flown abroad. I'm thinking that when they are sick, there should be an enactment that they should be treated here in Ghana. Their relatives should be treated here in Ghana. So that next time, they will have an eye to come and develop them. It's so annoying when you see some of these things. They don't care about us one bit. And we are tired of them. Seriously, we are. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kofi. And listeners, please, let's do this together. We're asking today for you to give messages to our leaders who matter in this conversation to ensure that these abandoned hospitals are completed for all of us. So we're asking for messages, a message that you think is going to touch their hearts, that will make them to complete these projects. Francis, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Grace has found me, sir. Thanks for asking.
Good. We are favors. I went to the Akuetteh military hospital. It was a rainy season, and 3 weeks ago I went there. And it's so shameful. You see, your past was saying that the bragging right issue, and that is what is causing us.
So what is your message to leadership in this matter then?
Amoku should go there. I was there. I saw something. Honorable Amoku should go there. It is destroying. It is collapsing now. He must go there after a military hospital. It's shameful. Voters are getting wiser now. NPP, we are going to opposition now. They should save us.
Well, thank you, Francis. And you know what? We're not doing NPP and NDC this morning, but the point again is our ferry, as it stands now, it's 96% complete. 96% complete. I got 4%. And it becomes operational. Amankwa, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Please, I will just advise the journalists in Kumasi to just demand accountability from our leaders. Because when a project is being done in Accra and the same project is being done in Kumasi, the speed that Accra wants carries is different from Kumasi, because we don't demand, we don't do documentaries about projects. Look at the Tanoso Abuakwa Road. Look at the Techiman Road. It's simple, pathetic. Please, let's demand accountability. Do documentaries. It will help the region too. Thank you.
Well, thank you too. Ajekum Adams is next on the line. Good morning, sir. Let's hear your message.
Good morning, Dave, from the United States of Kropo. Number one, my message is I support that you're going to put in a documentary to back what we are talking of. And then the second message goes to the GMA and the nurses and the midwifery council. Sometimes they declare industrial action for their salary and condition of service. I expect them to declare strike for this because it's affecting them. Is it not affecting them? Hello?
Yeah, Ajay Kumar, so listen. So we're asking for your message. Go ahead, sir.
Why don't they declare strike for this purpose? Always for money, for money, for money. Meanwhile, it's affecting them negatively. GMA, nurses, they should stand up.
Well, thank you very much, Ajay Kumar Dams, for joining us. 03220-83596. We've embarked on this campaign to get these abandoned hospitals completed, and we want all hands on deck. We've decided to put together a documentary to highlight the situation on hand. And so we're asking you to join us with a message. What message you want to put across to the regional minister? What message you want to put across to the various members of parliament who are from these constituencies? What do you want to say to the health minister? What do you want to say to the president? We want messages that will make them come and complete these projects for us. Augustine, good morning. Hello, Augustine.
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Augustine. What's your message?
Yes, please, there is an emergency. There's a fire outbreak at Brooklyn Estate B line, just in front of the B line park. We've been trying to call the fire service, but no one is responding. Please, if you could help us.
All right, so I think that you've made the announcement. I'm sure that the appropriate authorities have heard. We have quite a number of them who are in the region. They listen to Love 99.5. And so, well, help is on its way to you. Augustine, thanks for joining us. Oheneba.
Right.
Hello, Oheneba.
David.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Oheneba.
Good morning.
You have a message?
Yeah, I have a message.
Let's hear your message, sir.
Yeah, David, my message is going to open so what you call so he Kumasi Eura. And he said and I say my hospital year. I want us all to channel our energy and speak to Nana and ask him if he speaks. I think this politician will listen to him. So we should just go. Sunday is Akuetteh Day. Let's tell Nana that this hospital is for our heart. He should speak to the politician. They will be here. They will be here on Akuetteh Day, and they will hear him out. So, Nana, our hospital, Kabima and a politician.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And we've been told about this fire outbreak that's occurring right now at Brooklyn Estate around the B-line area. There's a school there. Opposite the school park, there is a fire outbreak there. Please, fire service, if you can hear us, rush there quickly and help quench the fire. Thank you very much. Joseph is also on the line. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, David.
Joseph, do you have a message?
Yes, I just want to find out if it is possible for the media houses in Ashanti region to wage a campaign against the government in favor of completion of all these hospitals, and then again also to petition the Ashanti King, and present to him evidences of all these, hospitals that have been left in the bush to deteriorate, so that he can put in a word, for the region for all these hospitals to be completed. So this is my suggestion to you.
Well, thank you very much, Joseph, for joining us. 03220-83596. That is the number you can call and send a message to the leaders who in this case matter to help ensure that we complete these abandoned hospitals. We need to complete them to bring, better healthcare delivery to us here in the region. Now, I'll be picking one more call on the phone lines, after which we'll be sharing with you your voice notes. So, Leo, just push it through. Leo, just push it through. And let's see who we have on the line. Hi, good morning. Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Yeah, what is worrying now is that, you see, what amount of voice do we, who are not in power, or who are not ministers, or who are not journalists like you people have voice. You understand? So you people should put the statement there, not us, because we've said this thing here and there every now and then. We don't see any outcome. We don't see any result. So our voices cannot be heard afar than you journalists. So please, journalists, you have a lot to do for us. All these things, I will blame you people. But if you stand, we will be successful. Thank you.
Anthony there with what he thinks the fault is, but not a message necessarily. But thanks for sharing that with us, Anthony. And from next week, you're going to be seeing flyers. And like I said, we're putting together a documentary that is going to, put to bear the concerns and the challenges that we have talked about and what people are going through. What people are going through when it comes to day seeking for medical, care. Let's speak to Kojo. Kojo is our final caller. Okay, so we lost Kojo on the line. We lost Kojo on the line. Okay, so I'm told that we lost every person on the line. We lost each and every person on the line. Apologies. We lost everybody on the line. But let's share with you at this point in time some of the voice notes that has come through. And we have the very first one. That's about to roll. This is one of the voice notes.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Thank you very much for a good job you're doing for Mother Ghana and Ashanti in particular. I remember in the lead up to the 2016 election, a group of chiefs came together to support the president in his bid. I would like to plead to those chiefs to also do same in campaigning so that these hospitals in our region will be fixed. Thank you.
David, I'm Anthony speaking from Aswansi. My message is to the energy minister. That vim and vigor and the strength you want to use to organize demonstration in Kumasi because of the Kitata waves, you should use that same vim and vigor to push for the development of this region. I mean the hospitals. To push it so that they can finish it, so that we too can benefit. Shouldn't be doing politics with everything. Thank you.
Actually, I also suggest that the Council of States in the Ashanti region should also carry this matter on their shoulders. I actually think that they are also not doing their job as well, because when they have a conversation with the president, what actual message do they actually tell the president? You know, so they should tell the president the kind of situation the Ashanti region is facing, specifically when it comes to health and road infrastructures, so that they will stand on their grounds and they will do what is expected.
Yeah, hello, I'm Gosla from BBNE. The issue of closeness of health facilities is very crucial to preserving the precious lives of people. But it's very unfortunate that our leaders seem to have not realized this. Mofanochi is about 2.5 hours from BBNE, and most of the hospitals along this stretch also use Mofanochi as a referring hospital, including BBNE also. And it's very, very disheartening to know that most patients have lost their lives due to the long journey. It's very long, 2 hours. But Afri Hospital would have saved these precious lives if the 4% had been completed, because Afri is the most closest facility to these regions. It's very sad. These lives could have lived to do this country a great deal of goodness, but here they are lost, just like that. I'm a student PE, and it's very, very scary how things are going. It's very scary.
David, for me, my name is Joseph Bodo. What I think is that there is no leader in Ashanti region. And when it comes to these health issues you are discussing, the problem falls squarely on the President of the Republic, because he was the one we elected, and he knows all these things we are talking about. He should all bow their head in shame. Thank you. David, for me, my name is Joseph Bodo. What I think is that there is no leader in Ashanti region. And when it
Good morning, Dave. I hope you are doing well. My name is Maxwell from Dubai. The only thing that can help Ghanaians so that this government should complete our hospital for us in our community is we need to do a demonstration, because they hate demonstration. They don't know anything called peace. If you're able to do a massive demonstration against them, I think you're going to do better. Because all the project the previous government started, they leave it right there. And they started another one called Agenda 111. I don't know where from that. I mean, why we have old project that we need to complete. Dave, I think that it's about time we need to speak the truth in face of these people. I don't know why this NPP and NDC government are just killing us softly like this in Ghana. Come on, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Hello, my name is Stephen Opoko, speaking from Kutri. You see, this issue, when you think about it, it appears is so much that it's evil. That is the word I will have to use it, because I cannot imagine that if we love the nation, we won't do that. Why? It appears the nation belongs to a certain set of people. They are not patriotic at all. I believe it's high time we, the electorates, must have to think twice and then decide holistically to get away these people. Thank you very much.
Good morning to the powers that be. We, the people of Kumasi and Ghana in general, are on our knees pleading with you to try as much as possible to complete this abandoned hospital project. It is really sad how some of you politicize our priority areas. Is it because you have the luxury of getting healthcare outside Ghana? Please, in the name of God, do the needful. Enough of the politics. We need each other. You need my vote, and I seriously need your services. And remember, health is wealth. My name is Michael Tamaklo. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. David. Thank you very much for giving some of us this opportunity. The problem is that our leaders at times, everything, they play politics with it. Any serious issue that you are going to talk about, they play politics with it. And that is our problem too. Our leaders is our problem, and playing politics with all serious things is the problem. You see, the last time the energy minister was comparing the tidal disaster in the Volta with Asante region with flooding. That if the minister allocates any funds for that, he's going to lead a demonstration in Kumasi. What kind of lifestyle is this? And at times you sit and wonder, everything that bothered human life, they want to play politics with it. We are watching them, and God is also watching them. Good morning, Mr. David.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. We just shared with you some of the voice notes that have come through. In relation or regards to the Bokrom B line fire, we've placed a call to the fire service. I spoke to one of the commanders myself. 2 fire tenders, I'm sure, should be on site by now. 2 fire tenders should be there by now to help put out the fire. And so we'll be getting back to the people around the Bokrom B line to ascertain the situation as it is now. But we know that by now, 2 fire tenders should be present putting out the fire. If not there now, in the next 2 or 3 minutes, it should be present. I mean, Erasmus, so you've listened to people share their voice notes. You've heard from people, New Love. They've also sent, they called us actually. I wish we could pick more calls on the phone line. But what I want us to do now is to go onto Facebook and get to know people also saying by way of their messages and comments on Facebook. And Leo Stanley Boyete joins us now to do that for us.
This is from Openin Ewuku of Fair Bernard. He says, good morning, David. My problem about the leadership of this country is mainly abandoning a national project mostly started by previous governments. It undermines, limits our status as leaders of this country. Little did I know about what prevents them from completing national projects already started before starting new ones, but it's also so wrong. This is from Morgan. He says, Uncle Dave, please let our leaders here know that we don't want to flout the streets demonstrating as it happened in Nigeria. So please, we want them to kindly use our little resources judiciously for our general benefits, working on our few amenities. My humble request. And from Richard Dunkel, he says, the people of Ashanti region have been taken for granted by this government. This is so because they dislike the truth. And he comes back to saying, dear government, please complete all abandoned projects. Thank you. Citizen, not a spectator. This is from Abraham Donko. He says, you call these people leaders? Levi, these leaders are people who use their head and brain to think properly and have common sense to take good decisions about their own people and country. And from Agawina Noah, he says, good morning, Mr. David. The leadership of Ghana and Ashanti region Ashanti region people are also the problem. We have low ourselves, and the leaders will continue to suffer. They want large, and they will get overdose of it. God bless our homeland Ghana. And this is from Duku Prince. He says, to use our money and tax completed, it is our tax for them. Okay, not sure what he meant by that.
Let's listen to this song. Let's listen to this song. So arise, Ghana youth, for your country, Ghana. We're not asking you to go destroy things. We're not asking you to go harm anybody. We're asking that we do what is right as citizens of this country, to push our leaders so they can provide for us what we need. We put them there for specific reasons. One of the reasons is to ensure that we will be taken care of when we're ill. And I don't have to travel all the way from my home to a facility to be told that there's no bed or space for bed. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, with the concerns that many have shown, and I'm enjoying reading messages from people even on the side, people who want to be a part of this campaign. I have had messages from doctors, I've had messages from architects, I've had messages from well-meaning Ghanaians. I mean, Newlove, how do you feel about this?
Dave, I think the message is sinking gradually. We need to do campaign like we are doing now, and I wish, like somebody called and was talking about Kumasi journalists all getting involved to make sure that all the abandoned project in the Ashanti region is completed. And I think the more we educate ourselves, the more people get understanding that government projects are meant for the benefit of the people, and it's not for any partisan people. Whatever political party start a project does not do so from their personal pocket, but from the state coffers, from the taxes that you and I pay. And therefore, when we allow the project to go waste like that, all our tax that we have been paying go waste. And therefore, we need to demand accountability for the taxes that we pay. When projects have been started, we have to make sure that they are brought to a logical conclusion. That is the only way we are going to benefit. Look at Confanoche, the maternity block that was started in 1974. Finally, after wasting a lot of money on it, finally it's been declared that it's not fit for purpose, so it's going to be pulled down, or actually it's being pulled down. So all the money that has sunk in, wasted. So that is why we have to rise up as citizens, especially those of us in Ashanti region. Let's demand that the projects that are due us, even we have about 7 projects that we are talking about now, big hospitals. If we can get 4 or 5 completed immediately, it's going to ease the pressure on Confanoche. You see, sometimes we think that when people go to hospital, they complain nurses are not giving them the best treatment. These are some of the reasons. There's so much congestion. A doctor has to attend to so many people within a short space of time with that space. So if you were the doctor, if you were the nurse, how are you going to feel? the pressure may end up making you do the wrong thing. When there are other facilities that could ease the pressure. So let us all put our hands on deck. Let us unite together and make sure that the projects that are being constructed or that are being done for us are actually completed for our benefit.
Kweku, is this song speaking to you?
Yeah, it speaks a lot. Anytime you play it, it gingers me, and I think it's a clarion call to all the young people, all the elderly people, all people who matter in the Ashanti region. This is not a concern for David, Erastus, and New Love, or multimedia for that matter. It is for all of us. We're doing this for all of us. And in fact, Agenda 111 is a great thing. Who doesn't want his or her government to build for him? But when we have ones that are already in place,
almost completed, 96%, 76%,
it will take
89.
It will take minimal resources. It will take shorter time to get those ones on stream, so that you say ebi shewanumwa ana atubia ebe enti ebi wo hode dadia ana mi yenwie na amanfo enya bi no mu yusu a na fe ya to ebu ase na ye de pese ye no yatimi akoso ni aye e de abeka ne wo ho no ama aboa ye nyina
omubutum sika nko me yusu ni sa
so ho na se bi wo hode da I to say one o papa etifie na obi abecha waduane e komode opa na papa say aduane nipa kro na ode aduane ba no medwa no ntinya de am de aduane ba mu adi wo so komode papa nso o mu aduane bi ni So you have the hospitals that have been built with our own money, and that is a problem. Our own taxpayer. When you buy pizza, and you see that VAT thing on that top there, yeah, you're paying tax. When you get your salary and you see the deductions, all this money put together is what the former president used to build those edifices. It doesn't matter who started it, who did not start it. Somebody starts, somebody completes. At the end of the day, it's for the people, and I think we must complete this for the people.
All right, so we'll be joined shortly by Kwame Sapong-Esidu. We all know Kwame Sapong-Esidu. You know, he does a lot of talk, and he's helped us in many ways during the COVID fight. Kwame Sapong-Esidu, who is also listening, has a few things he would like to touch on, and so we would allow Kwame Sapong-Esidu to join our conversation. Maybe he has a message that is also going to help, you know, with the other messages that we've received to ensure that the right things are done for these projects to be completed. Well, get fast and refreshing relief, you know, from stomach upset with number 10 liver salt, which of course restores vitality and provides effective relief from stomach upsets, nausea, hyperacidity, and indigestion. Now, number 10 liver salt comes in original, lemon, and orange flavors and is manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. It's available in a pharmacy near you. And if symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Number 10 liver salt, a refreshing relief. All right, so Kwame Sapong-Esidu, I'm told, is on the line right now. Kwame, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, David. How are you?
Well, grace has found me, but I'm concerned about these abandoned hospitals that could bring a lot of help to people who need medical attention. And I'm told that you're listening and you have an input you want to make. Kwame, let's have you, share what's on your mind with us.
Thank you, David. Yes, I have been listening. It's poignant because I came to Ghana on Tuesday for the second CAT forum. I was one of the speakers. And one of the things we were discussing is how to enhance democracy in sub-Saharan Africa under the guise of a pandemic. And one thing was clear, that like education, you require health to empower the human resource to be able to augment the democratic process. Because if you do not have a healthy population, if your health systems are not well structured, then if we have another pandemic, our political players would go for the same blunt instruments like social distancing, wearing of face masks, shutting down the economy and all those things, which make people worse off, but are the only tools we have. So I've just come to Kumasi for a day because I have to leave tomorrow, and I just go out of the thing. And as usually, I listen to that, and then I start hearing of all these projects that are part of the health tools that would help underpin the human resource of Ashanti region. And it's not just in Ashanti region, because there are some of these projects all across the country, to ensure that our democracy is enhanced, so that the things that affect our democracy around when you shut things like you say political rallies, they shouldn't have, people shouldn't mass up, and therefore you stifle free speech, can be stopped. So I was listening to you and I was thinking, do we
So apologies about that. We'll get Kwame back on the line to continue with his presentation. But Erasmus, how do you feel hearing that even people who are living outside the country, like Kwame Sampuwesedu, who is a pharmacist and a fellow of the CDD, himself has weighed into this conversation and sees it as something that is very necessary?
In fact, when I posted the pictures of the Siwa hospital, I had a lot of calls from outside the country, even more than those who are within Ghana. And it shows you how concerned people are. And in fact, when you listen to people, they are more concerned about, they say that elsewhere, it can never happen that a government will come in and will put up a project like this, and then another government will come in and say, I'm going to build a totally different, new project altogether, whilst this one is still at the completion stage. It baffles people.
Well, it's in the Constitution.
Yes.
The direct principles of state policy. It warrants that we continue projects that predecessors or government before us have begun.
And you see, when you put up the question as to what you're talking about, abandonment and all that, they will tell you that it has not been abandoned. Yes. And that work is ongoing. I have been there many times. Go there and let them tell us what is the rate of work.
So I'm told Kwame Sampuwesedu is back on the line. Let's conclude with him and we'll continue from there. So Kwame, welcome back. We lost you briefly, so let's have a land on your presentation.
Yes. So what I was trying to say is, do we realize the extent of decadence that this brings to just not the people who live in the area, but to our whole democratic process? What is it? For these contracts to be started, things go into Parliament. They are approved. Their budgets are for funding them. Erasmus was talking about the maternity block in Komfanacho. Eventually, it was raised down. That is not anybody's money. It is you and I's money. We're going to pay back that money for a health facility that was never completed and for which we had no benefit. But it's added to our debt stock. Why should we even allow our politicians to treat us this way? And for me, that is a bigger conversation. Much as we need to appeal to the conscience of the people in power currently, we need to have the bigger conversation about how negligent they are about piling up our debt stocks with projects that they don't intend to finish because it doesn't augur well for their own political machinations. And that is the only thing I wanted to add.
And we'll say a big thank you to you, Kwame, for joining our conversation and adding your voice to it. We're going to continue this. We have plans to put together documentaries, make available flyers, and continue with this battle until these projects are completed. So we're grateful to you, Kwame, for joining us on Love in the Morning on Love 99.5.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so I don't know what else we can say this morning, but the bottom line is we're not ending today.
No, definitely we are not ending today. Once we have started, we must see to its logical conclusion, and we need you to join us. When you see flyers around, pass them on. Share on your pages. Let it fly. Let the politicians see it, and let people feel what we are feeling. That there is congestion, people are dying. We need to complete these facilities for them to use before any other new facility can be started.
And I like it when people say, for example, that when they need medical attention, they fly out of the country.
Yes.
And we have people who are saying, check up, keke, at the expense of the taxpayer, then he's flown out of the country. Na yeah, ani yanko sharing.
And if you look at Aferi and Seua, the kind of facilities that will be available, you will not even need to travel out of the country.
When Freeport Boateng was operating
for checkup,
for the cardio issues, heart issues, people were coming down. We've talked about health tourism, where people knowing what you have can come in and say, I'm coming to seek medical attention here. It puts money in your economy.
Exactly. And even now, with the letter that we even have, like on Fanoche and other places, people from other countries like Senegal, Mali,
even from the northern part of the country,
they all come around. So completing this will not just benefit Ashanti region, but the northern part and other countries that are surrounding us. So please, let us intensify the efforts and make sure that it gets to the right people.
This is the last thing I'm going to say.
Will be completed as soon as possible.
When the father of the 7-month-old baby who died as a result of no space for a bed for the child to be catered for at Kofanoche, when the child died, one of the things he said to me was, David, when I hear about this no bed syndrome, I thought it was something that was far away from me.
Yeah, of course.
Until it hit him, until it happened to him. So don't think it's something that will not happen to you. This is life. Anything is possible.
Is that a picture of the baby there?
Yes, that's the baby. The 7-month-old baby who died.
Beautiful girl.
There's another picture of her. She has a beautiful smile. And look at her.
Beautiful
this is the
girl.
smile I'm talking about. And that's the mom. Because they say, baby, I am. Charlie, thanks, guys, for being here.
The Love FM blood donation exercise this Saturday at the forecourt of Love FM. Donate a pint of blood to save a life. The Love FM blood donation exercise this Saturday at the forecourt of Love FM. Donate a pint of blood to save a life.